Okay, I'm going to go really quickly on how to put this this adaptive component in here, and I'll make another video about the component maybe later. I'm just going to create a new project here, and I'll go to my 3D view, and I'm going to go to Insert and Load Family. So go to Insert and Load Family, and I have this 4-point felt nested double, and I'm going to click Open, and it's going to bring that guy in. And now I'm going to create a surface and the mass model in place to put this guy on. So I'm just going to go to Architecture, Component, Model in Place, and I'm going to pick Mass, and I'm just going to leave it. It's going to turn the masses on, so I'll leave it Mass 1. And then I'm just going to create a reference line on level 1, and so I'm just going to draw one. I'll make it 10 feet long. Just type in 10 and hit enter. Oops. And then, or escape a couple of times to stop that command, and then pick that line, and you just want to go to create form. And if you pick it, you'll see that it's created sort of a 3-foot high. So I'm just going to make this 8 feet high, make it a little taller. And if you want it to offset, you can come in here and just do like a -2 feet, right, and it'll offset it from the ground so it won't go all the way to the ground. And now what we need to do is divide this surface. So I'm just going to pick the surface and go to divide up here, and we want to divide it into 4 by 9 inch divisions. So I'm going to pick that surface, and over here you're going to see it says fixed number. Well, I want a fixed distance on both of these, the X and the U and the V, and we want the vertical ones to be 4 inches apart, so I'll just go 4 here, and we want the horizontal ones to be 9 inches apart, so just go to 9, whoops, not 9 feet, but 9 inches. So let's do 9 inches and 4 inches. Okay, and it'll divide it. And then what I want to do is turn the nodes on, because that little component needs the nodes to host on it. So make sure you have it selected. Come to surface representation, there's a little down arrow, pick it and turn on the nodes. And that'll turn the nodes on. And then I'm going to expand my families here, and if I scroll down, there's a generic model family, and that's what we loaded, was this generic model, and it loaded this 4-point nested double. And this single is actually inside this family, so it loaded this one too, but the one that we want is this nested double. So just go ahead and expand that and drag the 4 inch by 9 inch out here, and you'll see it'll kind of stick to your cursor. And I'm just going to left click, left click, left click, and left click, and it places that. The next thing you want to do is repeat it, so pick it and repeat it. So there's a little repeat right here, and if you repeat it, it'll repeat it across that surface. And once you get that done, you can look at it. So if we go to the east elevation, right, come in and take a look at it, you can see that it's doing something. Like I said, it's sort of a placeholder, so if I go to shaded, you can see it. If I go back to my 3D, I also put a little felt on it, so if I go to realistic, right, it would render out like that. Now again, it is kind of a placeholder, but it's a good place to start. Once you're done with that, you can hit finish mass, and it'll take you back out into the project from the sketch mode. It's going to yell at you a little bit and say you only have mesh geometry, but that's fine because it's only surfaces, and that's all we really want right now. We can make it more complex later. If you want, if I go to massing and site, if you want to turn sort of the mass things off, like you can see the little dots sometimes, you can tell it to show mass by view settings, and just go into your visibility graphics and make sure that masses are turned off, and it will just show the generic model. You can make more of these, so I could go to architecture, component, model in place again, and if I go to mass, click OK, and I'll name that mass 2. You can come in and do a reference, and I'll do a little arc right here. So do the same thing with an arc, right, and then pick that, create form, adjust the form however you want it, so again, I'll take it up to 8 feet and bump it off the floor by a foot, right, divide the surface, turn on the nodes, set the grid to fixed distance, and this guy is going to be 4 inches. 4 inches, and this is going to be 9 inches, right? So you've got that set up, and then you can come in and drag this guy out and do the exact same thing. You want to be kind of careful. It's really important that you get these guys stuck on the nodes, right? So just come in, pick that guy, and then you should be able to repeat this, right, around that guy. If it gets a little funky, we can talk about it. Like sometimes it tends to flip, and I think there it is. You see how it's flipping right there, like it's breaking and flipping? I'm not sure exactly why that does it. If you pick the little piece and drag it in right past that flip, it'll get rid of it, and then you could come in and drag this the other way, but sometimes, and it has to do, I guess, with the way that the curve is working, it'll flip that guy, so you may have to kind of adjust it in order to make it not flip, but we can talk about that later. And then I can go to finish mass, and that guy is now done. And then if I want to get rid of those little dots and stuff, I can come into my massing and site, go to show mass by view settings, and just again making sure that the masses are turned off right there. And then that should work fairly well for our purposes right now.